Yo, you know, so as the day I'm recording this, we should be getting a new producer's letter and a new batch of SS Plus weapons in about 6 days. If this comes out on the same day and not like 5 days later, because we know I be lazy sometimes. But apart from that, I decided, the Minotaur weapon came out. I've had my time to use it. The Enchanted Ghost Sword came out. I've been using that a ton. And I think it's time to do a updated tier list because some weapons have changed, weapons have gotten buffed and whatnot. So I think it's a good time to do this. If I do not own the weapon, you're not seeing gameplay of it. I don't know. Look, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I'm not about to go scavenge for someone like beating me up with the weapon. If I got it, I got it. If I don't, I might just use my own videos for this. But I'm gonna go in order from when the weapons came out. So with that being said, the first weapon, Chroma. Now, in my opinion, this weapon has gotten, buffed, nerfed, buffed, whatever. It's not that crazy. Chroma is like C tier. I'm gonna try to actually speed this tier list up and not, yap too much like I've done in my other ones, but I think Chroma is C tier. It's okay. The one hit stun is whatever. It doesn't drop you out of combos like it used to, but that combo potential for it isn't like the craziest in my opinion. You kind of just I don't know. Like people that glaze Chroma it's like you only like use the triangle for it. It's triangle's okay at best. It's not really like anything special. I think it's like C. It's usable. It's fun. You can definitely use it, but like overall, it's not the craziest weapon on this list. Next up, I have the Infernal Sword, which I think is A tier. Now, has it aged since it came out? Yes. It's got nerfed, and it's not as prominent no more. It's not you can't infinite someone from halfway across the map. The triangles. It's there's other weapons in the game that probably have better like way to like keep you at bay. It's still great though. It still has some great range attacks. It still has some great combos. And overall, it has a lot of effectiveness. I would put it A tier. Especially the burn damage does help a bit, but the burn damage can also sell too. That's a con that could be because the way it works, if you have like poison on them, like let's say I use Takemikazuchi no Kami, and like the Takemikazuchi no Kami burn damage things happens, that does like all your health. I can press triangle on them once with this weapon and it will just completely cancel that out, which is a downside because it could genuinely just sell you. So yeah, I think A tier is like the valid option for that one. Itachi, now it's Toyska Blade, Itachi's weapon. I personally believe that this one could go like a solid B tier. Now I'm not going to have this as the play shoe. I might change this like at the end of the video if I think like something might have changed. I don't know. I'm kind of just going this, just raw. But Itachi's weapon, or Toyska Blade, still has the best charge attack in the game. Not charge attack as in like it'll beat other weapons out for clash. It's charge attack as if you try to run from it, you will get hit. It has the best anti-running charge attack in the game, which is great. Combo wise, it actually has a bunch of combos. It's really good. The triangle 4 is actually still pretty useful. With the little like range attack, little shield throw you do. I personally like it. I think it can go B tier. Honestly, I won't say A. I'll say B tier. It's pretty decent. Like I said, for what it does. It's not, like I said, it's not the craziest weapon, but I don't think it's the worst weapon either. It's a solid mid. It's really, you're either better or worse. Now, for the next weapon here, I think size weapon. Now, size weapon did get buffed as of recently. Size weapon did receive a massive buff as of recently, and basically it makes it so spamming it is 10 times easier to do, and which makes it way more annoying, to be honest. And with that being said, size weapon also has a better range attack than an Inferno Sword. Like, if they both fight each other, it will beat it out. I think size weapon's ability to be able to change modes is really useful, because, like, I don't know, you know, there's things in the game now that just kind of nullify range attacks, and like to be able to just go from range to melee like that, I think is like, it works as a like game mode effectiveness, or just whatever you're doing. Like I said, them buffing it to where like it's actually really useful now, and not like, I think I used to have like its bottom 3 or the worst weapon. Yeah, now it's actually better. Like, I actually see people use it now. Side weapon players are actually inconceivable, because they're just really annoying people to just like to run all game. But like, the side weapon over in general is just, I think it's I put it above Inferno Sword in A tier. I think it is a really valid weapon that does its job really well, and has a lot of effectiveness going into it. So you're not going to see the square attack much, but like I said, the pressure you can put with the range attacks, very useful. Next is Moderate Fan, and I think we can just, you know, we can just say what it is at this point. It's going to be I've actually gotten to use Moderate Fan. I hated on it, and would put it like C tier, and really I still would, but since I've actually used it, I can say like Moderate Fan is kind of crazy. Like, not just spamming triangle and base and flag and in combat battle, because, you know, I have no skill. No, the square actually has the fastest square attack in the game, besides Osimus. Like, I don't know, you're watching this, right, and you don't believe me, go like have your friend put on Viper Sword, and then go use like Moderate Fan. Moderate Fan would just beat it out. It actually is just that fast. But so that's one perk about it. You know, the triangles, of course, everybody knows the triangle. I don't gotta explain it. Combo potential, it actually has pretty decent combos, you know, overall. I think as a weapon, game mode, like I said, it does do the best in like a lot of game modes. Like well, base, flag, combat is kind of whatever. It is the only thing I'll say, because it's the triangle spam so much, it's so easy to fight against. Like, triangle spammers are actually the most easiest people to fight against. You just dodge the triangle, and then like boom, they die. Like, if I never owned a weapon and got to use it my own self, I'd probably put it like C tier still, because I would just think like, oh yeah, just spam it and you'll just die. Like, great job. But since I've actually gotten to use it and I know the perks of it, I'll put it A tier above size weapon for now. Now, I might put size weapon above Moderate in the future, but for now, I think it actually could go above size, because I think a smart like Moderate Fan player would be like a smart side player, because Moderate Fan is just, it has like the range and capabilities of that. The greatest SS Plus weapon, Monsters Chaos. It goes A tier as well. Now, I'm not trying to put everything A tier here, because whatever. I could put a B tier above Itachi's. I think A tier fits it a little better. Honestly, it just does what it does great. That's the best way to put it. It, like, I mean, I think the video I released is that you have like the little spam attacks you can do to like actually do like get someone from far range, which is kind of hard to do, but you can do it. It has a pretty good square stun as well, which helps. The triangle's horrible. I won't lie, the triangle is horrible, but it actually has very good combos. Like, you can do a lot of damage in like a little time, especially if you have like the little buff on you with the rods. You could just do like just a raw square attack can do like 60% of someone's damage because the rods are also hitting them. And I said the little combos it has, the slam, all that, it's just very decent stuns on everything. I'll definitely, I think 8. Actually, I'll put on top of B tier actually. But yeah, I think it's very decent. Like, for what it does, it's very fine. Next up, I'm pretty sure the next weapon that came out was whatchamacallit, Kawaki's. On release, this weapon was bottom tier. Like, but now Kawaki's is top of A tier. I'm not gonna put it S tier. Actually, most weapons won't go S tier, but I think Kawaki's is a fine S tier. I mean, fine top of A tier. It does probably the most damage, the fastest out of any weapon in the game. Like, okay, the Chakra Scalpel weapon does do fast damage, but that's like with the Crimson Drizzle buff, it's doing like that much damage. Kawaki's weapon could, like, if it had like an attack buff, it's just gonna one shot you in like 4 seconds. Plus, it has a great one-hit stun, like, actually, like, great. The little laser that comes out can actually be very useful. I've used it, like, the way you use it, like if someone's waking up, you use the laser, it'll instant guard break them, or it'll just like catch them as they're trying to run away. You can like extend that to a combo to kill them. Very like very simple weapon, but very good and useful weapon overall. I think like it's a solid A tier, solid top of A tier. It's gonna do its job, and it's really it. It's not gonna do much else. Next up, if I'm not mistaken, what came out, I think it was Demon Roar. Demon Roar is S tier. I'm just gonna say, you put the mask on, attack buff, attack evasion, healing. You can go from 0 to 100% HP. What else? I mean, speed. I just like normal movement speed, not even attack tracking. I mean, and it has infinites, and it has a range attack that beats out literally 99% of the range attacks in the entire game. It's very fast. I mean, there's just not, it's not, you know, much else to say besides it's just S tier. It's just like S tier. It's not even like the difference between Demon Roar and like A tier is why like none of the other ones are like in S tier. It's just not like Kawaki's weapon and Demon Roar is too big of a gap between the two. Don't get me wrong, like it's great, but like no. Demon Roar is just like, I think it's just like probably top 3 best weapons in the game, and it's been that way for like 6-9 months now. I don't know when it came out. It's great. It's great. Like I said, it has the most utility in the entire game. Next is Gar's weapon. Gar's weapon is a nice B tier. This is a nice middle class B tier. It's above Itachi. No. I think actually low to B, like lower on the B tiers side. It's below Itachi's. Gar's weapon, it does what it does. I like, you know, you can do like a little infinite combo in the air. The combos, you can set the trap down, which the trap is kind of like goofy, but I mean, it's still, if you just stand on a trap and your opponent like doesn't have any jutsus, technically they could just have to take damage. Or, you know, like I said, trap is pretty useful for maybe like a flag battle. It's probably the most used. Space kind of not so much, but flag for sure. Instant guard breaks too, which, you know, is really nice. Combos are really nice with it. So I got to use the weapon. I never really made a video on it, but the weapon itself is, I think it does what it does great. You know, the reflect attack that like leads into like an attack. Great for like you know the new Barry on Tailbreaker buff that like a lot of people have been complaining about because like it's annoying. It's just pressure. Like it'll like almost guard break you. This weapon just counter that. Just straight up, this weapon will counter that because the issue is that the Tailbreaker buff would just keep relentlessly attacking, and there's no way to like block. There's no way to like punish them. You literally, this weapon just full counter that. You just reflect them, and boom, they're getting pressure back on them because of the weapon. Like that's what's great about it. So that's what I'll say about that. Like I said, the weapon's a great B tier. I feel like it doesn't do nothing advanced to make it like A tier. Like it's not like dominant anyway, but it's, if you know how to use it, you are gonna cook with it. I think like I said, Guard's weapon is like a strong B tier. But on the lower end. Next up, Invented Destruction. I'm S tier. I'm not gonna speak too much. All I'm gonna say is infinite super armor. I could give this weapon to my 3-year-old cousin that I don't know has a. I'm not even gonna say nothing crazy. I gave it to my 3-year-old cousin, right? They can't even speak yet. Maybe you know they have a slow development stage, and they would like easily kill a plat on the game. I could give it to a newborn baby at this instant, and they would beat any person that isn't running a super armor counter. That's how dumb the weapon is. You could turn your brain. I promise you, you could turn your brain off and you will still win. That's all I gotta say about this weapon. Like, after this, we know what's next up. Now your fist is here. But next up, the bow. Now I could, you know, be one of those people that's like, oh, I hate the bows. The worst. No, we're not. The bow's the best weapon in the game. If you argue, now you could say, oh, well, the nerfs made it like so like less of a threat now. Like now the bow's not even like that much of a annoyance. I'ma just let you know right now. Every single bow player that played the bow when it came out did not know how to use it. Yes, they just press square. Yes, you would think that's how you. That's not how you use the bow. I know how to use the bow. But no, the bow is still the best weapon in the game. I'm just gonna straight up say it. Now it's a close tie between Demon Roar and the bow. It actually is pretty close now. Because before it was just the bow, no questions asked. Now, because of like the bow being nerfed to the point where like it's kind of like just like very sluggish and whatnot now, and like the laser just won't hit you at all. It's like I said, you kind of can argue it, but like I said, I'm gonna just give y'all a secret. The laser was never the best part of the bow. It was the shadow arrow into the triangles. That was the best part of the bow. That's what, and like I say, if you know how to use those, you know how to use the shadow arrow that's unblockable. You know the flames that explodes and does burn down, like those are like I said, you know how to do all of that whatnot. The bow's still like number one. It's, you can apply crazy pressure. You could easily cook like anyone. Cause like for instance, the other day I put the bow on and just went into a match. Just, all people did was run from me. You know, that's all. All people did was run. Like it's just. But how like you would think the nerfs would make it so like it wouldn't really be hard to fight the bow, you know? I know what I'm doing, so they just wouldn't fight me. It's kind of just that. I ain't gonna keep yapping. Like I said, I think it's the best weapon in the game still. Let's keep going. Hugo Fist. The worst of the SS Plus healer weapons. See, I could put Hugo Fist as in worst weapon, but I'm not. Hugo Fist is C tier. It's C tier. I think C tier is fair. Hugo Fist. At the weapon itself, like if you're using the weapon in like a 1v1 style or a combat, I can easily put the weapon as the worst SS Plus weapon. Easily. promise you, I easily could, and I would not second guess myself for that. But Hugo Fist, luckily, like Mike chose to turn off. Anyway, Hugo Fist luckily actually has the gimmick of being able to save you from like range attacks. Like if someone fires like a fireball at you, you can press triangle and get rid of the range attack, or the rotation to block jutsus. And Hugo Fist also has the property of being able to be the best, you know, thing for like game modes. I'm not gonna say what Hugo Fist does specifically, because you know, gatekeeping. I don't know what to tell you. But Hugo Fist, it's really useful for game modes. Actual combat is trash. Like I said, bottom tier, probably worst weapon of all kind. But for actual for utility wise and what it does, like I said, being able to protect you and whatnot, like the 128 palms, like kind of having super armor and being immune to range attacks, really useful. Really useful. So for that, I'll place Hugo Fist C tier, because like that's the thing about Hugo Fist too with that stuff though, is your enemies have to be using that for it to be useful. If the enemies aren't using like specific jutsus that the Hugo Fist really does well against, it's kind of useless. It kind of just whatever. I think that's it with those. I'm still Hugo Fist's biggest hater, but and I'm not just gonna hate it and say it's garbage. No, I'm gonna hate it, but I'm gonna speak the truth about it. It's still really useful. Next up is Zabuza's weapon, which I'm going to say, interestingly enough, is probably the worst SS Plus weapon on release, or tied. The Hugo Fist. I don't know. On release, Kawaki's, Sai's, Zabuza's, I don't know. There's a couple of them that could like go there, but Zabuza's, the issue with Zabuza's weapon, right, is that it has like the greatest combo potential for a defense weapon. The greatest. There's not like a weapon above it. But it also has really bad stuff with it. Because like the triangle, like the non-holding triangle is generally like terrible. Like actually like probably top 5 worst triangles in the game, like along with Momoshiki's or something. But the water clones are the best thing about it. I'll say that. Like it's insanely useful, insanely good. You can like infinite with the water clone. This water clones is like a great setup that you can do. Well, it's actually the best range attack in the game is the water clones. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it beats every other range attack. So it'll just go through every other range attack that's currently in the game. And also, it has armor on it. So it's funny, right? But the water clone is the best. So it has that going for it. And like I said, it's just great overall. But my issue with the Zabuza weapon is its gimmick. I get to 1 HP and then you heal, but so if you heal to it, you can only heal to a certain point and then you'll stop healing. So it's not 1 HP. It says when you're at 20% HP or 200 HP left, or like, you know, under 200 HP, you will enter the rage state. But once you deal damage to get over 200 HP, you leave it. Most useless gimmick in an entire game. Like I see Kurama Claw Edge, Inferno Sword, Toysuke Blade, their games would kind of just like to take what, you know, attacks, ranges, and healers already were and just buff them. They did their job. Hugo Fist's gimmick, protection. They did it. Every other weapon in the game, side weapon, it was just like switch modes. It did it well. Every other weapon does what it's supposed to do well. Like their gimmick is done well. Invented Destruction is probably the perfect example. This weapon actually does the worst. Like it generally needs its gimmick needs a buff. The weapon itself is actually, like I said, combo wise, it probably has the best combo potential. Like you can easily like, get like a solid damaging combo from just like this weapon, just because of how like great the combo potential is. But like I said, that the gimmick is actually so bad that it's just brings it down for me. It like, dude, like it's not, bro. It's actually just not. Like I don't know what they were thinking. Like, yeah, once he's under 199 HP, or once he's under 20% HP, he can heal, and he gets a defense buff. Once he hits them once, though, it's removed. Guys, great idea, great idea. Yep. Who even like thought of this? I think once you're under 20% HP, you gain that buff, and it just never leaves. That would make the weapon. It wouldn't even make the weapon broken, really. It was kind of just. It would just make the weapon way more better. I'm about to say, Demon Roar can already heal up to the max. Adding another weapon that does that way slower than it can easily is like can do it justice. Like I said, I'm not here to like yap too much about it. Like I said, but for now, I think it can go C tier above the Hyuga weapons, because for now it's kind of just whatever. Timberblade Hashirama, S tier. It is the it's really just a very interesting weapon that came out. It came out with aimbot. We were in Call of Duty apparently, right? One of the Shinobi devs must have been on the game of Nuketown before they made this weapon, because they came out with the pillar that just has the greatest tracking in the game's history, apparently, right? So it's almost unless you L2 dodge it, you can't just raw move like half movement and dodge it. It has a great one-hit stun. It has great stuns overall. It actually has a range attack that beats out jutsus. The Golem, the Golem. Let me rephrase. The Golem actually probably has the best range. Like in the game, like it beats out literally everything, even jutsus. But the difference is the Golem is like very hard to like bring out and whatnot. So I just don't count that. Like it's kind of like very niche for that. But still, overall, tons of damage. Movement, it has a movement buff. When you enter Sage mode, you gain a damage buff to yourself. Melee damage, it's insane. You just start doing like a ton of damage overall. And yeah, it's just a very crazy weapon. Very simple, but very effective. I mean, it does what it does. Now on to the two newest weapons. Enchanted Sword Ghost. Enchanted Sword Ghost, after using it a ton, can go in C tier at no, that one bottom of B tier or C tier? I think bottom of B tier. Enchanted Sword Ghost. And you might be thinking, well, why is Enchanted Sword Ghost that low? Well, let me put it like this. I have been told, well, actually, that doesn't matter. I was gonna say something about how good I am with it, but that doesn't even matter. Enchanted Sword Ghost, I use it a ton. I probably used it more than most people watching this video. Shoot, most people that play the game. Actually, I probably use this weapon the most. Cause a lot of people, I don't like how this weapon works. I'm not gonna fully learn it, and dropped it. The first day, first week, they just instantly went back to their Hyuga Fist, Crimson Drizzle, Heavy Bolter. Hyuga Fist 8 layers of super armor build. They didn't give this weapon a chance. Alright? And to be fair, I understand why they didn't get this weapon a chance. The amount of times you can drop from this weapon's combos and whatnot is insane. It is actually like pretty insane. But that they kind of do need to fix, because that tracking is not great. So I do understand it. I'm not gonna like sit here and like act like those people didn't have a valid reason. I kept using it because it was the 7th anniversary weapon. But after using it, I think it's actually a pretty great weapon. It's basically like how Demon War has this, but because it's basically like similar weapons, similar design with the mask and the sword, similar things you put on the mask to get the buffs. It's a similar weapon. Let's be honest. They took Demon Roar and they put it on healer to an extent. just different animations and stuff. But Demon, you put the mask on like how Demon Roar does, and you get the buffs. But for that, I will say a plus is this weapon. Demon Roar's con that I forgot to mention is that you get a defense debuff. This weapon has that too, but the difference is you can pop a like any debuff removal, and you can get rid of the defense debuff, which is very useful. Which is like very, very useful for this. But what I'll say is that this weapon, the difference is that it has a good square attack, but no one hit stun. No one hit stun, one hit stun in like 2025. It's crazy. That's my hatred for Hugo Fist 2 is no one hit stun, by the way. But no one hit stun in 2025. That's not the greatest thing. Don't get me wrong, the square attack is fast. It just doesn't have a one hit stun, but like that's not great. But the thing with that too is another con to it is the fact that it's like I said, you drop out of combos a lot, but it also some combos take a while to do, so you can get interrupted because you're over there doing this cool looking animation. It's not a 2D platforming fighting game. It's a somewhat open fighting game where someone can just instantly go and interrupt your combos that you're like trying to do. I say it might look cool, but it's not useful to do it. That's one con. But I'll say, like I said, a buff for this weapon too is like I say it gains an attack buff, whatever, and whatever buff. I think it's attack. It doesn't really gain attack tracking. It gains attack. I think a movement buff, and then I think that's really about it. But it has the souls, so you can attack your opponent's soul with this weapon, and I think that is where like this weapon shines. It's the triangles. It has a range attack like the Demon Roar, basically same property of everything, but it's triangle, which has super armor, by the way. It has built-in super armor, very useful. Basically, if you hold the triangle down, you get the super armor attack, but you also slash them, and basically you get a soul from it. I'm over here explaining the weapon like y'all don't play the game, but the soul, I think the soul is like the most useful because with the soul you can heal and whatnot, and you can stack 4 on your back. But the soul, when you pop the soul to get like the healing bubble, if they actually rush your healing bubble, they take damage. You can actually go test it. It's very interesting. But when they rush your healing bubble, they actually will take damage from it. So they can't actually like really interrupt. Like if your ally like goes in the healing bubble to get some HP, you can't get interrupted because of that. Because they'll rush in and just take damage. Like they have Sharingan. If they have Sharingan active and they rush your healing bubble, their Sharingan's gonna like pop and they're gonna sub. That's what I think I like about that. Is that like, and like I said, their healing bubbles. Another good thing about it, you can heal your teammates too with it, which I do like a lot. So it has, like I said, it has very good. You know how to combo with it. It has very good combos, like very good combos. You can easily like melt someone's health with the weapon, easily. And overall, alright, I think this weapon, it has flaws. It has a lot of flaws that made it like kind of underground, but it also, once you really learn to use it, it's like a really good weapon. Like it's really useful. But I do think like really the thing about this, right, is that it's not like this weapon, once you master it to the highest degree, it's this is like S tier. I don't think that's really how it works. I mean, this weapon is an S tier in general, but you have to put in like a lot of work to really understand how this weapon works, and like how the souls work, how everything. Like I said, I know how everything works. That's why I was doing like probably added like 10 minutes to the video just from this alone. But I was trying to explain how it works because that's why it's like I feel like it's really useful. Like it's actually a great weapon. But overall, like I said, I think the other weapons are just better because they take less brain power, less whatever it is to learn the weapon, and I think that's the biggest issue. Now, like I said, Enchanted Sword Ghost, I think is like bottom of B tier. I think what it does is great, but its flaws are too greater. Especially, it's on healer, which is it's tied with the lowest health in the game with range. So like I say, you pop that mask. If you don't get the debuff removal, you're just gonna die in like 5 seconds. This happened to me a couple times. I try to like pop cellular extraction, the enemies start jumping me, I just die. Cause I have a defense debuff on now. Like there's not much I can do about that. And that's just, you know, one thing about the map. That's one thing that I kind of thought about when I first seen it too. But so I'm not gonna yap about it too much more. I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long. Let's go. Final weapon, Minato's kunai. You're not gonna believe me when I tell you guys this, but Minato's kunai has worse tracking than Enchanted Ghost Sword. Right? That's kind of insane, right? But the thing is about Minato's kunai is that it's. I'm gonna tell you my placement though. S tier, number 5, or top 5. I think combat ability. This weapon ties with Viper Sword, so it has a great one-hit stun. But combat ability, I wouldn't put this weapon up there that much. I think this weapon actually probably has worse combat ability than Viper, than not Viper, than the Enchanted Sword Ghost. What might even I was gonna say it might actually be there with Hugo Fist, but that's disrespectful to the weapon. Nah, it's not as bad. But combat ability, it's not. The movement though, the movement is actually what makes this top 5. This weapon is easily the best movement weapon in the entire game. This weapon on this L2 dash has a greater L2 dash, so it's easier to run away. Pieces of garbage. But not even only that, it's actually like very I said it's very great for like movement ability, and the L2 dash has super armor. You can actually like dash to jutsus and stuff because of the super armor on the L2 dash and take reduced damage. The square attack. The square, you know, I said it was one hit stun or your rush attack. Your rush attack also has super armor. Whenever you do the dash, it has a frame of super armor. So you can like ignore like maybe a range attack and just instantly go in. I've done that against a bow user. I think I showed in my Minato video. I might not have. I think I cut it out. Triangle. Triangle also has super armor on the initial dash. And like I said, all this too is movement. Like the triangle's movement is evasion range. So if you buff your evasion range, you're actually buffing the triangle. And the triangle, like I said, it actually has invincibility plus super armor. So you can just movement wise, like I said, best flag battle weapon in the game easily. So it just dominates that game mode. It's not even close. Movement wise, easily you're just gone. You're actually just gone. Like there's you can easily escape from a fight, join a fight, whatever. Like I said, it's just the combat though is not. It's not horrible. Don't get me wrong. It's not horrible, but like it could use some work. It could use some work. Triangle, you can. They said the Rasengan on the triangle. Rasengan just don't be tracking. Rasengan be going in the outer space. Be minding his own business. I don't know. Rasengan be having a job it needs to go to. It just don't connects. But like I said, the weapon, movement wise, it's insane. I think that's top 5 because it's insane. You know, number 1 most prominent like weapon in the games right now, and like I said, best probably range weapon in the game. You know, it can keep people at bay from like 80 years away. I said 4v4s is also just gonna easily cook. 1v1s is harder, but it's harder for this to cook, but a 4v4 is easily. Demon Roar is the best. It does attack the best. It can heal, attack, evasion, all this. Invincible Destruction, best defense weapon. Infinite armor. I Minato weapon, best speed. You know, best speed weapon, best run. I think it deserves to be here. Hachirama weapon is just kind of like it's a weird like thing. It's kind of like it's the odd one out. It's just top 5 because it's stupid. But you know, I think it's top 5 because the speed is actually just so powerful that it actually can just be up there. And I think, yeah, never mind. Minato Kunai is actually the worst weapon in the game currently. I think the worst SS Plus weapon in the game, which is kind of crazy because, you know, beforehand the worst SS Plus weapon in the game was just not usable. Like, it was just like, yeah, don't even use it, don't even attempt to put it on. But now I'm not gonna. I think I like how the tier list is. But like everything, honestly, they've made it to where every SS Plus weapon is now usable. You know, beforehand, that just wasn't the case. You used size weapon, you lost. There's like no arguments about it. But yeah, now I think yeah, we are at a point where there's not like a weapon on this list that like I think you just don't use it. I think it's like everything's here is viable. I think this is my current list for SS Plus weapons. Now let me know what y'all think. I think personally this is like just my list, my personal opinion. This is the best way to form it. So bow's the best weapon if you know how to use it. Demon Roar has great buffs, inventive. Hashirama has aimbot and great combos, damage. Minato's best speed, you know, all that, and it just goes like Kwaki, Mato. It just goes on what's the best side, you know, switch, all that. You know, I know this video is probably gonna be 40 minutes long instead of 20, but I only make it like this because I don't like those other tier lists that I happen to go through. I actually want to explain mine well. You know, I don't want y'all to like just go in and think, what is this guy talking about? Like, he put this S tier and didn't give a proper. He just put an S tier and said, oh, he liked it and he's good. No, some of these weapons I don't even own. If you're not gonna see gameplay for that. I don't own it. I just know how it works. I'm not gonna be biased. That's just how it is. But like I said, I'm not get through yapping here. So let me know if you know if y'all agree, disagree, write what you think in the comments. I guess I mean, if you won't, I think once, you know, I'm gonna try to get the next SS tier plus weapon tier list out sooner than I get this one. But yeah, I think this is fine. Only thing I might change is Enchanted Sword or Higa Fist, but that's it. But I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Laters.